Frontier opening bell, the 6th of September. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Let's just get on and take you through the markets day for Tuesday. The Nigerian market remained very strong to the upside, although less than 0.1%. We saw investors reacting to the news of a merger between Dangote Sugar, Nascon, and unlisted Dangote Rice within the Dangote Industries, the family that moved the market. The shares of Oando, Nigeria, also climbed on Tuesday, just as that deal being signed between the Italian energy giant ENI for East Nigeria, Ajib assets onshore Nigeria is being finalized. Of course, awaiting ministerial and parliamentary approval, as well as the regulators within the Nigeria's upstream sector. That also moved the share price more than 9% for Oando here on the exchange on Tuesday. The markets keep trading some of these news that are coming through, including earnings from the banks that we saw over the last couple of sessions. So that kept the market up around 68,000. Still positive sentiment for the trading day. More than 10 billion naira in local currency for the total transactions for Tuesday. The BRVM went back to 210 on the composite Tuesday by 0.5%. Egyptian stock market remained back in the positive territory, about 0.75% in the green. 19,000 is the new reading for the EGX 30 that we track. Then you've got the Nairobi stock market, whatever is biting the stock market, investors pulling out. There are a lot of concerns about the currency, the shillings as it were. So this sell down continues in the Nairobi market, 98.01. We started the week around 98.14 on the all-share index, down yesterday by 0.1%. Okay, take it out to Johannesburg, where the South African market was up by 0.5% at 75,000. The Zimbabwe stock market was down by 0.20%. The exchange in Morocco was also down by 16 basis points. The Semdex was up just by 0.05. So you've got a couple of green shoots, and I got a green pen here this morning. This got more of a green shoot yesterday, Tuesday, for the second day of the current week. So keep that in mind. Let me just move on and show you what's the top stories. Of course, Ducat deals and the pledges are to the ongoing African Climate Action Summit taking place in Nairobi, Kenya. The African Development Bank says it's putting $25 billion on the table to support Africa's energy transition. The United Arab Emirates announced $4.5 billion in Nairobi yesterday to support climate adaptation projects across the continent as well. We'll see more of those deals coming through over the next few days until the summit is over. It's the first or the inaugural African Climate Summit being held. Of course, this morning we also saw the AFDB Group as well as the International Energy Agency announcing the list of a new report on financing clean energy across Africa. That report is now available. There's a panel currently going on, and you can watch all that online. Safaricom in Kenya says it signed a $103 million deal with the lenders for sustainable projects. That's also part of the news coming from the Africa Climate Summit in Nairobi. The Kenyan government is also showed its hand by announcing a few deals, which was made on Monday by President William Ruto for certain counties and places around the East African largest economy. The MTN in Uganda yesterday hosted the South Africa's Business Trade Investment Summit, which was done in Kampala. So if you step into West Africa, you've got the news around the global economy, which of course was the news out of the G20 FSB chief, Klaas Knot. He says that the global economy will get tougher in the years ahead, and everyone should be prepared for that. And of course, you know, the crude oil prices rose to the highest level since November of last year, $92 a barrel yesterday for the London Brent. The US West Texas Intermediate was trading at the tail end of the $90 per barrel also on Tuesday, as soon as we get into this morning as well, because Saudi Arabia and Russia, two of the largest OPEC Plus producers, said they will extend their voluntary quota by 1 million barrels per day until the end of December. The initial decision was September, then it was moved to October, then of course just take it all the way down to the end of 2023. Then the HCP giant, not so good news as it were for the PZ Cussons Nigeria. We said it will delist from the Nigerian Stock Exchange and will move on to buy out the minority shareholders. That's the news from the parent company in the United Kingdom. And Ghana says it's losing about 49.45 million cedis from cyber fraud. That was within the first 6 months of this year, according to a new report. And Total Energies of Gabon reporting a turnover dive of 20% in the January to June, just before, of course, the latest military coup that we saw in Libreville by some soldiers. That story is still developing, as it were. Let's get on to Southern Africa, and that's where we're looking at the South Africa's economy reporting sidestepping of a recession. The initial expectation from the SARB, the Reserve Bank, was a 0.4% growth for the second quarter ended June. That came a bit higher, 0.6%. That was led in the main by agriculture and manufacturing, despite the problems with Eskom and Transnet flooding and a couple of other issues that the South Africa's economy had to deal with in the second quarter of the year. That rolling blackouts in South Africa, the economy managed to sidestep it, and perhaps the whole tinkering with the cabinet and bringing in a new energy minister by President Ramaphosa is beginning to show some positive reading. And that, if gets to the second story, which you're looking at, the PMI, the Purchasing Managers Index was up at 51.0. 50, anything below 50 is a contraction. Any figure above that was an expansion. So still in an expansionary mood, moved from 48, which was contraction in the month of July, to an expansionary phase, 51.0 in the month of August. First time in 6 months that we saw that in Africa's largest economy. That takes you back to nearly the start of the year. The Sanlam, that big insurer, says it's completing about 35 billion rand Africa joint venture with the German, one of the biggest insurer, German Allianz. That's a big story for the insurance market in South Africa, with Allianz expanding its footprints across Africa, including Nigeria and a few other regions as well. Congratulations to Sanlam, one of the biggest insurer on the African continent. The National Bank of Malawi said it posted 35 billion kwanza in first half this year as a profit for the company in that Southern African country. And Vivo Energy says it's entering the gas market in Namibia, one of Africa's largest gas market. So that's finishing up in North Africa. Of course, Egypt listed Belton has submitted a deal to buy 100% of the microfinance provider called Cash in Egypt. And SDX Energy says it's going to dump Egyptian assets and concentrate with expansions in the Moroccan market as far as the energy is concerned. Attijari Wafa Bank, listed on the Morocco stock market, that's in Casablanca, reporting first half of the year, January to June, consolidated net banking income up 12% in the period under review. And finally, Libya says its daily oil production reaches 1.2 million barrels per day. Some good news there. Nigeria also ramping up on its production. Additional 600,000 was what the NNPC CEO says has been brought to the table. That's helping production back, as we see cut back by the big boys, Saudi Arabia and Russia. And those are your business headlines for your front opening bell. These Wednesday, the 6th of September. Have a great day, everyone. I will see you very soon.